My man, kind of sort of a big weekend, huh? Not bad.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Not bad. Did you do well?
It's so funny. Whenever you fly back from international meets and then you state to border control or customs that you're coming back from a competition, they're like, "Oh, well, did you win?"
See,
So I was able to say that I won this weekend. So
yeah. I mean, we'll walk through this, through the timeline and everything, but without burying the lead, is this everything you wanted? I mean, to break two world records in two different weight classes 8 months apart is pretty freaking crazy.
yeah, I would say, yeah, I mean, yeah, I'd say like the way that things turned out was what I wanted. How it turned out, maybe not necessarily, but we still got the thing accomplished. So yeah, I would say like overall, we got what we wanted.
And did you plan on being the first 93 in the IPF to do 10 times body weight like Brett did in 2018?
Yeah, so that's been a goal of mine. I definitely wanted to be the first to do it. I know that the 93s have been creeping up into that range, and I was like, man, that'd be a really cool opportunity to kind of tap into the 930 range. But this particular meet, I'm not gonna lie to you, it wasn't like a an objective because this meet is supposed to give me the best chance to get a wild card for Sheffield. And just kind of thinking you don't want to push the record too far. So you give
Mm.
yourself an opportunity down the line to kind of like crush it whenever Sheffield rolls around. But it definitely was on my mind that I do want to be the first 93 to total 10 times body weight.
I mean, if you want to make a statement to do that, to get an invite to Sheffield, that's another box. Like
Yeah.
he's the first to do 10 times body weight. He took the world record. I mean, these are just like applying pressure to be like, it's got to be me. But I can't remember the last time I saw somebody, unless there's somebody I'm forgetting, break two world records in two different weight classes within the same year.
Maybe Agatha. Like she's been I don't know how
It would
her
have to be her if it's somebody,
yeah, if
but
it's
yeah.
somebody it'd have to be her. I know what she's doing is extremely special. So I never even really thought about that, to be honest. I think you were the first person to say that and I was like, oh shit. Like I did total 870, which was at the time the world record for the 83s earlier on this year. And then yeah, in the same year I did move up to 93 and then also capture another world record. So that is interesting. One thing that I did realize when you said that is I currently own the 83 squat record and the 93 squat record. So that's
Oh, no
dope.
kidding.
Yeah, now that I think about it, yeah.
Well, like the reason why it's so remarkable is it's difficult to fill out the weight class and do that. And
Mhm.
these other guys in the 93s have been 93s this whole time pushing this world record. So for you to move up in just 8 months without like the apprehension I had to put too much pressure on you was, is Russ going to have like the body weight filled out in time for to do this at the North Americans? You just decided to move up like 2 months ago.
Yeah, it was like a commitment to moving up. So I know, like, what's so funny? There was a lot of conversation because I've been talking to people like outside of, I've just been talking to people in the powerlifting community, and they're always asking me, "Yo, so what do you normally sit at body weight wise when you're competing as an 83?" And there
Mm.
there were people out there that actually thought that I would sit around like 215 pounds consistently and then cut all the way down to 83, which is insane to me. The highest that I've ever gotten, like in an off season as an 83 would probably be, I want to say like 198 pounds at the most, and that would only be for a couple of days if I just had like a crazy binge the day before. Uh, but yeah, no, it actually wasn't that difficult to fill out the 93s. We just wanted to do it in a slow way, so we weren't putting on like too much disgusting weight. We just wanted to make sure it was quality muscle. But I've been lifting in my muscle development is so high at this point that it's going to be hard to put on like bad weight.
So let's walk it back. When did this happen that you decided? Because initially you're going to do World Games as an 83, and that'd be your swan song there. Just like Penna's talking about World Games will be a swan song at 66.
Mm.
When did you decide I'm not doing this? I have to go at 93.
Yeah, so the initial thought with World Games was that we want to attack World Games, and I know that there's been some new players that have come into the 83 kg weight class, and it was more so like the idea of moving up was final. Like whether it be at the end of the year or just immediately after World Games, we were going to move up and declare that we're going into the 93 kg weight class. The last thing that I wanted to have on my belt was totaling 900 kg at 83, and I wanted to do
Mm.
that at the first ever World Games for Raw lifting. It just when we started mapping everything out and thinking about it, and then new opportunities started presenting itself, and then we got an understanding of what would we could get into for the following year, it just didn't make too much sense for me to just stick around just a total 900 kg, just to keep me in a conversation that I was going to end up exiting anyways.
Hmm.
I was still married to the idea of being the top 83. I know Joe has taken that over with nationals and his world performance, but I really wanted to go in and do 900 kg. But there wasn't like that's not good. I don't know if that's like a legacy booster to where it's worth kind of doing that, especially when you have the idea of 93 looming over, and then we had the NAPF that we were made uh we found out about, and we learned that if you do NAPF and you do really well at that, that'll give you an opportunity to get a wild card spot for Sheffield. So it's just kind of like, hey, do 83 at World Games with really nothing to gain from it, other than the fact that you could say you total 900 kg as an 83 lifter, or go 93, do really well at 93, and then that gives you an opportunity to really compete as a 93 at Sheffield. So it just made more sense to go this route for me.
Yeah, the 83 would not line you up for anything next year.
Yeah,
Like you,
nothing.
unless,
It literally just
yeah,
cancel me out. Like,
yeah. As a matter of fact, that's what it would do. You'd be
yeah.
back down to square one trying to fight it out with everyone else at US Nationals. Whereas now, at least you're in a conversation for Sheffield. Like you
Mhm.
have a pathway here.
Yeah,
And there's always going to be like, okay, you get 90, you get 900 kilos, but it's already happened. It's not like brand new territory.
exactly.
What did you think about the World Championships?
You're talking about like IPF Worlds?
Yeah, 83s and 93s in particular.
Yeah, it was interesting. I mean, I was glued to my couch watching it. I love watching IPF Worlds, and it's kind of tough to watch it when you're not there, but it's also
Mm.
motivation. So watching the 83s, it kind of shook out how I thought it would shake out. I think I had Ade as a dark horse to win it. Um, no disrespect to Joe, I just thought it would be really difficult to turn around from nationals. The travel, it's his first, I believe it was his first international competition. Just a lot of things going against him. Whereas Ade was able to kind of like sit back and just like fuel himself for this meet. And I knew that Joe would probably just come in with that 900-ish total, and
Mm.
it'll give him an opportunity. But Ade is like his pull is really crazy. But it shook out. It shook out the way that it shook out, and Joe was able to capture his first world win. So that was dope to watch. And then 93s, I was just honestly, I was watching to see where the standard was, but it became apparent to me that like this meet was a little bit iffy. Like I don't think we were getting everyone's best. It just seemed like awkward
Mm.
turnaround times. I know Kaiko just literally competed um, at nationals like 10, 12 weeks ago. So I already knew he wouldn't be at his exact best. So I watched with a intrigued eye, and I was like, okay, this is not necessarily their best, but I'm just kind of scoping out to see who's strong at what, whenever I'm actually competing against them to expect to know what to expect from them.
I talked to Ade afterwards. I'm like, dude, you were so close. And he's like,
Mhm.
brother, I'm sick of being so close.
Yeah,
He's like
exactly.
this, he's like, I'm getting sick of, like, I appreciate it. I'm getting sick of hearing that, man. I'm like, if you looked at the scoreboard, Joey B said it well. If you look at the scoreboard, it was like 50 kilos or whatever.
Mhm.
But he's like, honestly, we're an inch apart, not 50 kilos apart or whatever
Yeah.
the spread was. It was actually that close. It wasn't like a far a meet like it would be on the scoreboard here.
Mhm.
But Ade, poor Ade, forgive me here. My freaking allergies are
I'm the same way. My
attacking
eyes are
my.
watering up. I don't know what's going on.
It's me because I put sunscreen on. I was just out and about.
Got in your eyes.
But
I know. Yes.
yeah, but the battle was what I expected, but I knew that Joey B's what would make him a stitch vulnerable is the fact that it was his first international competition at the World Championships. And that was, like you had said, he was going to lose some of his kilos, but exactly how far would he go down is the big question.
Yeah.
Now, did you expect him to hit 900?
I literally had him at 890 to 900. He's still young and he's a gamer. Like he knows how to compete. I think he's pretty good at adjusting on the day, and like whatever is thrown in his way, I feel like he's gonna adjust to it. He's one of those rare lifters. Like I hold Taylor in that regard. I hold him in that regard from the limited time I've seen him compete. But when I got to see him compete in person at nationals, I was like, oh, like I like the way he competes. Like he's like aware of the moment, and he doesn't it doesn't seem like it shakes him like it shakes other lifters, which is a good thing. So whatever the moment presents, I know he's going to game for it. So I had him at 890 to like 900. 880 would have been like maybe he just didn't have like a good prep coming into it, and he really had no clue how to tackle, the international travel.
Do you think this is like the next rivalries him and Ade, and it's going to continue on kind of like you, Brett, you, Jerns?
It's tough to determine those things because you do have Taylor too, and I know he
Mm.
didn't have the meet that he wanted at NAPF, but like I mean it's going to be a tough mix, and there's random people that will come into the mix. I know some lifters that are coming into the mix at 83 that already have a crazy baseline, so it's like I don't know, but it's all up to Joe. It's all up to how much he wants to take care of his variables outside of the gym. He seems very dedicated to it. Um, but yeah, and it also depends on Ade too. Ade has all the tools he needs to become the best. It's just up to him on what he decides. He's had a moment. He's had two moments, one against me and then one against Joe, where he could have pulled for the win. He just needs to get that last couple of inches taken care of, and that's going to be like inside of the gym, maybe getting together with a coach, nutrition. I'm not sure, but he has to figure that out for himself.
In the 93s, was your impression? I mean, obviously, when they were in the studio with me and I said, look, Russ is coming up. And they said in the big European accents, we welcome him. Well, welcome to the 93s. And your response was amazing when you were like, I'll see you boys soon.
Yeah.
And in the comments. Um, but when you were watching it, what was your impression in terms of where you think you would fit in there? There was a lot of pressure for you. There was a
Mhm.
lot of and probably obviously rightfully so. You're Russel Orhii, you're moving up, but you didn't have, despite the fact that you were an 83 just not too long ago, you were given not a lot of time to grow into this. Like it wasn't like, let's see him hit 900, let's see him do, it was literally right off the bat, you would need to be the number 193 in the world ever with a
Mhm.
world record in your very first appearance, and you just made the decision to move up a couple months ago.
Yeah.
When you're watching this and you're watching these guys have been 93s their entire career,
Mhm.
Hunting, this is Gustav. This is Emil. This is Keiko. These are legends of the game. And the expectation on that the powerlifting community is putting on you was you got to best anything they've ever done in your very first 93 kilo performance. How did you feel about that kind of pressure?
You know, it's so funny. I don't think about those things, man. I really don't. I look at it as a fun challenge. Like to me, that's what's exciting about powerlifting because I think what I'm like the quote that I have, and it's literally like right in here next to me, is pressure is a privilege. Just be better for Sheffield, but just be better for yourself, right? So like I look at that as an opportunity and it makes me feel more alive. It makes me think about when I'm eating my food, when I'm going to the gym, when I'm sleeping at night, when I'm doing my baths in order to recover. I just looked at it as a challenge. I wasn't thinking about what the outside world was saying or whatever. It's just like, hey, you got so and so months to build yourself into a top level 93 lifter, and let's see where that goes. And I also I don't put pressure on myself to obviously every time you compete, you wanna do your best, but I knew like me being the best 93, and I believe this in my heart, is inevitable. There's no time frame on it. It's going to happen at some point because I know I put the work in. It doesn't have to happen this meet. If I fuck up and it doesn't come true this meet, no worries. We still have the rest of my life to get that shit done. So
Mm.
it's not it doesn't when I think about things like in a long-term thing, the moments themselves don't scare me as much. So it wasn't like too big of a pressure thing for me.
And first off, that video was fire that you
I
did when you
appreciate
saw the psychologist.
it.
So who came up with this? What was this? And that was
Yeah.
again, it was absolute fire. It levies more pressure though.
Yeah, that was okay. So that came from for the people that are listening. If you watch basketball, Anthony Edwards, he had this great commercial. It was like the lie detector test, and I wanted to take that and spin it and turn it into like a therapy session, and
Mm.
basically use the therapist as a proxy to ask him or to use him as a proxy to ask me questions about like things that I feel like other people think that would make me doubt myself or something like that. So you
Mhm.
have squat depth, being memed. Are you running from like the new 83s, the 93 say they're not scared of you, all that kind of stuff. I thought it would be cool to roll into a video and then me just answer it with my honest feelings and be like, hey, this is how I feel. right before the day I competed. But I'm sure we'll get into it. I didn't feel. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't feel. I was debating whether or not to post that video.
Dude, you know what? I want to play it right now. So
Yeah. Okay.
anyone who hasn't seen it, I'm just pulling it up. One sec here, share my screen. It was so good.
Yeah.
And yes, it is
Thank you.
going to apply more pressure onto yourself. Um, all right, I'm going to get the screen share here. Bam. Do you see that?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, perfect.
It did really well too, which I'm happy about. Yeah.
Oh, fuck. Dog, that's money.
Yeah.
Holy
Yeah,
shit,
no,
that's
thank
money.
you. I appreciate it. Yeah, I wrote that whole script out, but basically the template was the Anthony Edwards lie detector test that he did for Adidas. So that was kind of like what the concept was.
Wait, so you wrote that?
Yeah, yeah, I wrote the
Fuck.
dialogue and like just how I wrote the dialogue with the framework of that commercial. Yeah.
First off, phenomenal writing. That was very well done.
Appreciate
Is
it.
that dude an actor?
What's so funny is that no, he's not an actor. He's a country artist. And that was his first like talking like acting situation. It was so crazy because he sat down and literally he just embodied like he started reading the lines and my concern was like, damn, like I don't know if the therapist guy is going to be able to sell it because I'm not really acting. I'm just kind of like talking. But the therapist like he honestly I think he's the one that made that video because he added such a depth to it acting wise, which we were all kind of like, what the fuck? Like that was great.
He was a legitimate actor. I
Yeah.
thought you hired an actor. He's phenomenal.
No, literally
I
just a
also
bunch of actors they knew.
I also would have expected like you got a screenwriter to write that. That was so well done.
Yeah, no,
But the person would have had to have known you because those are all questions, like
Mhm.
perfect questions.
Yeah.
Um, it's everything that you've been dealing with. Whether it was like, yeah, the naysayers, they're not afraid of you. Do you pay attention in the meme pages? Do you pay attention to the doubters saying you don't squat deep? And everything you got everything in there, and actually asked them to ask you, which is very put you in a vulnerable position. And you're
Mhm.
like, do it. This is what I want you to ask me. And you
Yeah.
had all the. It was so well done, man.
Yeah, no, I appreciate
Um,
it. Yeah. It was definitely man, the day before I was like, because I mean, I don't really pay attention to like, I mean, like I said, I don't really pay attention to meme pages and shit. Uh, but there is you have to toe that line a little bit, in just regards to like public perception and how people kind of like receive you or whatever. I'm actually
mhm.
just very happy that people receive that very, very well.
Oh,
Yeah.
I had tons of people being like, "Damn, that was good. That was
Yeah.
very well done." And people don't do that kind of stuff. I don't.
Yeah.
I don't know anyone else who did that.
Yeah, that's kind of what made me. I'm not scared to be the first or like kind of like test the waters in something else, but that one was kind of like I'm kind of so I wrote it in a way where I'm not talking shit or whatever until the very end where I put out my manifest where it's like, hey, I'm going to exhaust myself until I'm the best 93 lifter in the world.
Hmm.
And even that, I feel like people can respect that because at the end of the day, like I'm a top level competitor like everyone else. So we all aspire to be the best. So there shouldn't be too much problem saying that.
I mean, you're not moving up just to come in third.
Yeah, yeah,
You're
exactly, right.
you're Russel Orhii, and the pressure is on you regardless.
Yeah.
Like people's expectations are like that. People were saying, break the world record. Sheffield, the account was like, can he do it? Can he break the world record? There's nowhere to hide. There's no
Yeah.
sense being modest now. It's too late for that.
Yeah.
It's you're kind of stuck
It's
with it.
interesting to know that that type of stuff fucks people up. Like,
Really?
yeah, like when I talk to other lifters, sometimes they're like, man, it's a lot. Like it's a lot. Especially when you get to this level where like every time you step out on competition, people expect you to be either breaking world records or doing your best. Like I don't get the luxury of just saying, oh guys, like I just had like an off meet. Like I can say that, but man, I'm gonna get fucking memed. I'm gonna get
Mhm.
People are gonna talk shit. It's just gonna be really bad if I was attuned in tune with social media like that. And that's a lot of pressure, man, for some people. I guess I just don't live in that world, so it doesn't bother me as much. But also, too, I think of things like I said earlier on, like on a long term type of thing, type of situation.
I mean, you having wrote that script, certainly you have self-awareness of what's going on.
Mm,
Not like you're paying super attention to it, but the things you were mentioning on it are the things that like the doubters would say.
mm,
Squat depth, the meme pages, freaking the pressure of, can he be the number one 93 or is he? I loved even when you're like, is he dodging 83s or the 93s too much? Because it's true where damned if you do, damned if you don't. If I stayed 83, you're afraid to move up.
yeah,
You move up, bigger, stronger guys, you're afraid of the new 83s. It's like it is that though. There
yeah,
is always going to be a damned if you do, damned if you don't. But the acknowledgement of that, knowing that you're the one who wrote that script,
mm,
is, you know, it, at least like you are self-aware of what they're saying. You just aren't putting too much stake into it to mess
yeah.
yourself up.
Exactly. I think it's important to keep your ear to the streets and understand what's being said about you. But just because it's being said about you doesn't mean it's true. So you just listen
Mm.
in, and I could utilize that to either motivate me or put out content like I just did. So.
And that you're saying you're somewhat hesitant to drop it the day before. Was
Yeah.
it what were you thinking? Were you like, fuck me? Like, it might sway either which way.
Nah, it was more so honestly, it was just more so like the situation I was in, just like the the travel, and then I was dealing with an extreme stomach virus, and like so my confidence wasn't exactly at its highest coming into this particular meet. Like literally the day before, I remember I was like, man, you got to make a decision, man. Either you fucking and I'm thinking about like all the great athletes and we're not like in a big sport to where we have big companies doing these things for us. So I'm like
Mm.
bro, you gotta put your balls on the table and just fucking put this out. Cause hey,
Oh,
if it doesn't work out, if it doesn't work out for you, you're gonna have to just eat those memes and shut the fuck up. But if it does, it's gonna look really dope. So I'd rather lean into like, hey man, I'm gonna make this work out. So I decided to post it. I remember I was in my bed and I was like, you got to make a decision by 10 a.m. So that's when I ended up posting it.
you're like, fuck, let's just do it.
Yeah, but
No,
it was
so
mostly I just didn't feel confident coming into it with all the shit going on.
let's um let's talk a bit about that. So
Uh,
I didn't even know you had a stomach virus.
yeah, I didn't really acknowledge it until I realized it was persistent. I thought it was just like a reaction to being lactose intolerant because I ate something on Saturday and I was just man, the amount of times I was using the restroom like throughout the day was ridiculous, and it was
Mm.
like it was just really bad. It was really bad. And I was like, damn, like what's going on? Like, I don't know what's going on. So it happened, it persisted Saturday, Sunday. I flew out Monday and it was persisting throughout my travels, like in the airports, on the plane. And then yeah, it was persisting Tuesday when I landed, and I finally got it taken care of Wednesday morning, like literally the day before I competed.
Right. And this is the thing. You're 100% right. Where if you would have said that afterwards when you had a bad day, no one would have cared. It would have been just an excuse.
Mhm.
There's no way out. You're
Yeah,
stuck in the moment. So
yeah.
you might as well drop your video and do your damn thing. And if you pull it off, you look amazing. Like Russ did it again. He called a shot, did a
Yeah.
fire video, first time out, breaks the world record. And if it doesn't go your way, you're gonna have to deal with it.
Yeah.
This is where you were more fearless than others, and is the pressure of what if I don't have a good day is why people might not drop a video like that, be as confident as you on podcasts, pick your spots and pick your shots like that. Like people just, it is the what ifs that make people not do that extra step. And then that's why they won't be able to capitalize on if they pull it off. It's easy after, like, what did Michael Jordan say? It's easy to talk shit in the fourth quarter when you're ahead.
Yeah.
Talk shit in the fourth quarter when you're behind.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's a little different. And it's kind of the same where it's easy to talk shit after it's already done. But are you that confident to throw it out there before the deed is done?
Mhm.
When you know you're on the line, you breaking that world record was you just broke the world record. It was going to be a tooth and nail affair, and you're like, whatever. If I
Yeah.
drop this and I hype this up, everyone's gonna tune in. And if I pull it off after a video like that, everybody's gonna go wild. You like it's you gotta be ballsy.
Yeah, it's man, it's not an easy decision. I don't think fearless is a good word. It's more so courageous. I say, and yeah, it's just like, hey man, I don't feel comfortable posting this shit given the circumstances I'm dealing with right now. But hey, but I literally said fuck it, we ball. So I just dropped it, and I was
Nice.
like, man, yeah, like fuck it.
Fuck it, we ball.
Yeah, I was like, fuck it, we ball. So I just dropped it and I was like, hey man, like just know that when you compete tomorrow, you're gonna have to scrap for this shit because you don't feel good. But like the strength, like we're heavy, we're still 200 pounds. So something has to come into that, but you're not gonna feel great. So you're gonna have to just be a gamer for the day and just try to figure it out.
Is this why were you expecting to be 200 pounds? Were you expecting to be because you're obviously a light
Yeah.
93?
Yeah, I was 206, but the week before I competed, like everything was
Wow.
yeah, I'm solid. Like I'm too usually like it hovers around 204 to 205. I mean, sorry, 204 to 206. And yeah, I was ready to go. I was like, hey, we're right on the mark. We're right where we need to be. And once I literally after Saturday, I was 200 pounds.
Great.
Yeah. The Thursday, so if you look at my account, the Thursday that I pulled, shit. Yeah, the Thursday that I pulled my last 705-pound deadlift, maybe not on Instagram, but if you look on YouTube, when I pulled my 705-pound deadlift, I was like 205, 206. And then that following Saturday, my weight plummeted to 200 pounds.
I mean, that's sizable. Did it rattle you? Or are you thinking,
Oh, hell yeah.
like, I don't know. Did you guys like adjust your game plan and everything?
Yeah, no, I was honestly, if I'm being 100% honest, bro, the stomach virus was way more concerning than the travel. Once I
Mm,
landed, because so I'm pretty good at just like understanding my body, right? I'm 200 plus pounds. I'm way bigger than usual. The travel isn't actually going to fuck me up that much. That was more so just like a funny thing. People were like, "Oh, is he going to be able to turn around?" Once I slept that Tuesday and woke up on Wednesday, I was like, "I feel perfectly fine. Like I feel okay." It was just the stomach virus aspect of it. The problem is I woke up and I felt light as fuck, and I'm like, ah, this is a little concerning. Like I don't like the way this feels. Like that one kind of shook me because I was like, damn, like how am I supposed to squat the number that we need? Because we everything when I compete, everything kind of like circles around squat. So I was like, man, I don't know how I'm gonna load that on my back and squat that feeling like
mm.
this. Yeah.
And in terms of like, it was the same time zone, which is going to make it more in your favor, anyways, like in terms of circadian rhythms of when you're supposed to sleep. So that wouldn't be too bad to travel. And even though you ended up going to the wrong spot, the wrong Georgetown,
Yeah.
I honestly, I can get it. If you're on your phone, you're on your Expedia freaking app, and you're just punching in Georgetown, and sometimes like you're not paying attention to the whole
Yeah.
airport. So you're just punching in Georgetown, bang, bang, ba boom. It's easier than you might think. To like a lot of us will do this on the Google when you're trying to find a spot within your town and be like, ah shit, and you relocate it or whatever. It's just, especially when you just see Georgetown Airport and you just punch it in on your phone and whatnot, and you're not paying attention to the bigger picture. But how rattled were you when you ended up in the wrong country and it's like, holy shit, I gotta right this ship real quick before you actually got the flights sorted. It would be that anxiety of like, am I going to make it? Is there one
Yeah.
available? It's like, God damn.
I don't even know how to explain. I mean, like, yeah, kind of like what you said. When I booked it, it said Georgetown. That's all I checked. Like, that's all I cared about. And it's so funny because at the video shoot for the video we just talked about, I was telling Justin and Kirby, which were the videographers at the shoot, I was like, yeah, like I'm actually competing in the Grand Caymans. And they're like, oh wow, that's amazing. That's beautiful. Like, that's not too bad of a travel time. I'm like, it's actually about like 6 hours. They're like, no, we've been there before. It should only be like a 3 hour flight. And I was like, my shit says six. I don't, they're like, do you have a layover? I'm like,
Slow
no.
ass, a slow ass plane or something.
Yeah. I was like, nah, like I'm going, I mean, I'm going to Georgetown, like Cayman Islands, you know? And
Yeah.
yeah, just never, they're like, you should check that. They literally told me you should check that. And I was like,
Oh
yeah, I think,
shit.
yeah, they literally told me you should check that. And I was like, oh, I'll check it. I never checked it, obviously. Um, yeah, I don't know. I just booked Georgetown. It said Georgetown, so that's where I went. Ended up flying into Guyana. It's funny because I didn't realize I was actually in the wrong location until I took like an hour ride over to a Marriott, and I'm sitting. I don't,
You're so American.
I'm so like nothing is like yeah. I'm nothing is like a quick. I'm looking around. It's
No,
funny when I landed and we're riding because I landed at like basically 12 a.m. And at this time, it's like 1 in the morning, 2 in the morning. We're riding through it. I'm like looking around. I'm like, damn, man, why are these international meets always in these weird ass places, bro? Like, it was like,
it-
yeah,
okay, first off, 2 o'clock in the morning is a little easier to not notice. It's nighttime. So
it's
then that's
like
easier to not notice.
I'm just
I
looking
gotta give
around.
you that.
Yeah, I'm just like looking around, like trying to. I'm like, man, like this don't feel right. Like I don't think that we would have like a whole ass NAPF like big international meet here. We get to the hotel and I'm checking in. I show the lady my confirmation for the hotel because it's still the Marriott. So I literally just told the taxi driver, "Hey, take me to the Marriott." So I guess there was only one Marriott
He's
there.
checking out. Every Georgetown, Marriott, everything's
Yeah,
checking out, man.
everything is all right. Like there's no like extreme red flags. So once again, I'm not looking at the country. Maybe I saw something where it says Guyana. I'm just thinking like I don't know. Maybe I don't know what I was thinking
Oh,
about
you
that.
locked in. All
Yeah,
you
I'm
see is
literally just like,
355, all right?
I'm like,
You
I
see
need to get to the
355
hotel and
kilos.
sleep.
You see
Exactly.
918 kilos. That's what you're thinking about.
So I
Okay.
give I give my confirmation to the lady, and she's like, she starts making a weird face, and I'm like, ah, man, something is about to happen. And she's like, are you sure you're at the right hotel? I'm like, yeah, this is not the Marriott? And she goes, yeah, it's the Marriott, but it says you're supposed to be in the Grand Caymans. And I'm like I already knew. I was like, oh, man, I don't think this is the Grand Caymans. I was like, oh, so this isn't the Grand Cayman? She said, oh no, baby, you're in
She
Guyana.
called you, baby. She goes,
Oh,
oh, honey.
I was like, I
Oh,
literally
honey.
stepped away from the desk and I was like, oh, fuck. And it was funny because people that know me know like how I deal with like extremely stressful situations. I wasn't too stressed out. I was just more concerned, like, yo, can I make it to the Caymans in time to just have a day of
Yeah.
sleep? Like, can I do that? And once I started problem solving a little bit more, the anxiety started going away. But I literally was just sitting there laughing, and she was laughing, and like everyone was just laughing. I was just like, wow. So I took a second to sit down in the lobby area, and I started piecing together like different flights because when I was trying to book it um, it was saying like 34-hour travel time, 44-hour travel time. I'm like, what the fuck? So yeah, someone kind of helped me out with that, and he told me just fly into Miami, and then from Miami you should be able to get to the Cayman. So I did that, but yeah, it was a hassle getting there.
You went back to the US and then traveled again out. You went on an adventure, man.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. It was pretty bad.
But at the very least, you weren't cutting weight. You're floating around the same time zone, so things aren't like relatively, anyways, if it wasn't exact. So those are in your favor for sure. You're not bouncing from time zone to time zone over the freaking ocean or whatever.
Yeah.
So when you showed up, I seen Taylor was waiting for you. Um, you two were there. What's it like? What was the vibe there?
It was chill. It felt like honestly, like I've been to so many different meets. For me, it felt like a local meet. I know for some lifters there, it probably felt like a really, really big international meet. And I know because I talked to some of them, it felt like like a real pivotal point in their career, which ended up being for me as well. But the vibe of it in itself felt more like a local meet.
Mm. And with you and Taylor both essentially trying to do the exact same goal, you
Hmm.
both moved up. You both are targeting the world record. You both are looking to make it. First off, you want to make it to Sheffield, and actually grabbing the world record is huge as well. I mean, let's be honest. Even if Sheffield at this point, and we'll talk about Sheffield and whatnot in a second, but even if you didn't get a Sheffield invite, that day was huge.
Yeah.
Even if, and I think you should. I think most people are waiting for the Sheffield announcement for you because it would be bonkers. The Battle of the 93s, and we could talk about that in a little bit. But let's even put that aside.
Hmm.
This was a huge event for you to do two world records in an 8 month span. First 93 for 10 times body weight in the whole nine. Taylor's looking to do the exact same thing as you in terms of breaking the world record, securing a pathway to Sheffield. Same thing for him. He
Hmm.
broke the 74-kilo world record. He's looking to break the 83-kilo world record. It adds to your legacy. You're watching Taylor Atwood, and this is one of the GOATs. And Taylor, the day before you falls just short on his last pull.
Hmm.
Does this rattle you at all? Does this make you like, God damn? Because I'm going to be honest, as a fan, like I
Uh,
want both you guys to hit.
yeah, for sure. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
it
we
what
were hyping each other up leading up to this meet. We're like, yo, let's get after it. It's me and you. Come on, let's like show these. It's like, two veterans. Like, yo, let's show these young guns that we still like that. So yeah, it was yeah.
I'm telling you as a fan. So I'm thinking, and I posted the polls. What do you guys think? Does Taylor hit? Does Russ hit? And most people like they're both going to hit. So
Mhm.
when Taylor didn't make it, it has nothing to do with you. But nevertheless, I'm watching. God, fuck, what if Russ doesn't make this time? Like you can't help but be like,
Yeah.
because you think Taylor's going to. And then
Mhm.
when Taylor does it, you can't help but be like, you get rattled. It's like you
Yeah.
got rocked. And
Yeah.
then when you watching you, I'm like, when you come out, I'm like, God, I hope he gets this. Like, holy shit. I don't know. What are we gonna do if both you and Taylor both miss? I mean, I guess, obviously life goes on, but it's like you guys will both lift again, whatever. But still,
Mhm.
it put some doubt. It made it more spicy. For
Yeah.
you, what was it like? Taylor went first and you watched, and then he misses his last pull.
Yeah. I mean, everything I'm about to say, I think Taylor would agree with this too. It made me more so think I got to get this one for Taylor. Like I got if he's not gonna get what he wanted, then let me get what I want so we could both kind of like live live that out through me, if that makes sense. And I'm sure Taylor would say the same shit too. If I competed before him and I faltered, I don't think it would affect him or make him more gun shy. I'd be like, all right, Russ wasn't able to take care of business. That charges me up even more to take care of business. So when I saw that, I was more so just like, fuck. It would have been really cool for both of us to go crazy, but
Mm.
it didn't make me think I can't do what I need to come here to, or I can't do what I came here to do. Like, no, I never thought like that. Whenever I have like, because this happens with teammates too. Maybe a teammate competes before me and they completely fuck up and they have a bad day, or maybe someone I'm friends with literally competed right before me and they have a bad day and like they're crying and shit. I'm just like, that was you. That's not me. Like, I always say that I'm different. And I think every lifter would say they're different. So they're like, that happened to you, that's not gonna happen to me. So that's kind of the way I took it. And I think, yeah, if that happened to me and Taylor was end up the one that, did what he needed to do, I think he would say the same shit too. It's like, yo, what happened to Russ sucked, but I'm not Russ. So I'm gonna take care of business. So I looked at that and I was like, fuck, that sucks. That would have been a good, like a great ass storyline going against
Oh
Sheffield.
yeah.
But yeah, I was like, you still gotta take care of business.
And do you picture like does it these negative outcomes and worries ever
Mhm.
creep into your head? Like, what if I don't? Do
Yeah,
you ever like
yeah,
really
for
get
Yeah, I think you have to welcome the good and the bad, right? So I think about the possibility of me winning. Like, so just the way that my mind works, and Top Step Media could attest to this. I'm literally writing down things that I'm expecting to happen after the meet. So I'm dictating the content that we're shooting in regards to that. Yo, I need this, da da da. Like when I do this, da da da. Um, but at the same time, too, I do think of the worst case scenario. I do think of me fucking up. I do think about me bombing out. I do think about me not taking care of business. But that's why I work so hard because I know that both things are extremely possible, but it's up to me to dictate which one actually comes true. I've said it many times on here before and on my social media is that I'm actually more insecure when I'm training. Because I know, like, I'm literally working all of that out. I'm like, fuck, man, like, maybe I'm not gonna be a great 93. Maybe I am running from the 83s, but you work all those insecurities out during training. And by the time I make it to meet day, I'm already like very absolute as to what's going to happen on the platform. I've already come to grips. I'm like, either I'm confident in the work I did or I'm unconfident and I'm going to fuck up on the platform.
How much of that therapy session script that you wrote was actually like what you
Oh,
were saying?
yeah, that was
It was
real. I
kind of
mean, yeah, it was
yeah,
I was
yeah, yeah.
writing to myself in a sense. I was writing to myself and answering those questions to myself. Like, that's kind of like it was like things that I know people are talking about within the community and definitely like, because I don't read comment sections that aren't strictly on my page. Like, if you post me, I'm not gonna read the comments because I know like they might be crazy or like whatever. Or like when other people post me or say things or like they talk about me, I don't really read them. But I do have an understanding, like, yo, this is what's being said about you. So I'm picturing like those people all sitting in a room, really just a therapist asking me those questions, and then I'm answering it myself because I don't openly, hourly answer those questions frequently for everyone to see.
Do you how often do you actually ask those questions yourself though?
All the time when I train, probably every day that I train. Whether it be like self-affirmations or questions like that to myself. I ask those are frequent questions. And sometimes they go unanswered. Like literally I'll just answer through my work. But
Hmm.
yeah, it's like a constant battle thinking about those different things. Like when people create narratives, you're like, damn, like is that a real narrative? Right? Like, do I actually maybe I'm not as good as I think I am. Huh. But then you work hard and then you go out and do what I just did on Thursday. And that reaffirms like, nah, they was they was tripping. I was tripping. Like we good. Like, yeah. So it's a constant thing.
You seen the Mike Tyson video where he's talking about fear?
Yeah. Yeah.
I gotta pull this up real quick. It reminds me of what he was saying here. Let me pull up the Mike Tyson.
There's nothing wrong with fear, by the way, for the people that are listening. If you don't fear, you don't care enough about it, in my opinion.
Yeah, for 100%. All right, I'm gonna play this.
Yep.
It's
Yep.
it's true that like fear, it's not real, but you will play these things in your head. What happens if I don't? What happens to this? None of that's gonna happen, but it makes you drive to not cut corners because you're afraid of what
Mm.
happens. And that's why when Mike says, like, I love fear, it makes me get out of bed in the morning and get after it. I'm afraid. If I'm not afraid, I'm a sleep in. It's not good. You This is where going into certain events yourself, were there times when you weren't afraid or didn't have a healthy enough fear of consequences and
Yeah.
whatnot?
Usually when I fuck up the most. And so I wanted, fuck, I wish I had this TikTok, but there's this amazing TikTok about, it talks about like great athletes like Tom Brady, Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant. They don't train for success. They train to run away from failure. So in their preparation for whatever they have going on, they're marking out all the things that could potentially make them fuck up. Right. So it's like, hey, your post game is weak. Let's work on that. Right. Hey, whenever you're on your left elbow and you're shooting this over here, you're weak here, so work on that. So I'm not going to fail here, and I'm not going to fail here. I'm not going to fail here. So the way I approach that is, hey, your depth is iffy. Your depth is iffy at best, bro. Like we got to make sure we don't fail here. All right, boom, cross that out, kind of, because I'm still working on that. Nutrition wise, all right, we need to work on that, man. You love food, that's dope, but that's not going to help you become a better 93 kg lifter. All right, so we got nutrition taken care of. We're not going to fail off in nutrition. Cross that out. Um, recovery. You can't be running around doing all this dumb shit because now you're going to make your next training session harder. We're not going to fail because we're not recovering. All right, cool. Cross that out. Now, once you have a majority of shit crossed out, I can start looking at, failure. And I'm like, nah, there's no way I'm going to fucking fail. I done crossed out like 36 different things at this point. There's
Mm.
nothing left here. Right. So now success is almost like an automatic. It's like that's what's going to happen. And if it doesn't, now I have to go back and look. I'm like, what didn't I cross out here? Oh shit. Listen to my coach when he tells me to like, push down on this whatever. Damn, I forgot to cross that out. All right, cool. I'll cross that out next time. So I think like if you work to stay away from failure, you'll end up succeeding. It's almost inevitable.
And yeah, it's by the time you show up, you're gonna remember all the shit you didn't do.
Oh yeah,
You
for sure.
that
And this is why, man, like only people that train, like only people that have seen me train, I don't play in the gym, bro. Like I really don't. I know like you might see me on social media and I have like a funny sense of humor and I'll be doing dumb shit. When I'm actually like in the gym training, I'm not like a happy person. I'm not playing around. I don't talk to my friends. If I know you, you might get a glimpse here and there. Like you might get a glance where I'm like that. I'm not trying to talk because I don't want to get on the platform and I fuck up. I'll literally start thinking about the different days where I talk to people too long. It's like, see, talked to that motherfucker for too long and you weren't able to lock in for that squat set. That could have been a 749. It was a 727. That bled into this shit. So that's why like I take my training very, very, very fucking serious. And it's like I get irritated thinking about it now. I just hate getting on the platform, identifying moments in my preparation where I'm like, see, you did that, so this is the outcome that you got.
mm.
Yeah.
And so in this prep, and you're moving into the 93s. How did this prep go? Did you feel like I'm another man now?
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I felt like a
Really?
it's
Yeah.
been yeah, it's been a minute since I felt like this, man. I ain't gonna lie. Like confidence was at an all-time high. It felt like there were some days, mostly on squat, I felt like I could have loaded up whatever I wanted and gotten it on some days. And I'm like, damn, man, I feel good. I feel great. Right. But I have to stay within the parameters of the program. Bench was okay. Deadlift was coming along. Like there are some sessions where like I'm getting close to like 800 pull. Excuse me. But I felt extremely confident. Rest was at an all-time high. Body weight was good. Like everything was fine.
Oh, you're getting awfully close to 800 pounds squat.
Mhm.
How crazy is that?
It's nuts. Yeah. I before we got on, I thought about that because I kept looking at my 783 and I'm like, I mean, Joey's been telling me, he's like, if we absolutely need 800, it's a possibility it's there. And it's funny because I did that 783 at 200 pounds, essentially, like 202.
Ah,
Yeah.
I mean, when you're and yeah, you just got here. If you stay like you're gonna stay 93, like you imagine in a year's time, next summer, if
Yeah.
we're at the
I'm
World
gonna hit it.
Championship.
I'm gonna hit it before the year's up for sure. I think. Like, yeah, I'm not. I would not be surprised if I hit 800. And it's funny because this is how far in the future I think. I already have the song picked out and like what it's gonna look like and like how I'm gonna edit it and all that type of shit. So it's just funny because I think about those things, but it sets me up. So when I get into that moment, it's like I don't live that shit a million different times. Just do what you've thought about 100 different times. So. Yeah, I definitely think it's gonna happen in the gym, but having it done in a meet, if it happens in a meet or when it happens in the meet, I am gonna go. I'm gonna go. I'm
We're
gonna go.
close, man. In
Yeah,
terms of 18 pounds when you're already like at 800, 18 pounds is nothing. It's going to feel so marginally different. That's it. If it feels different at all,
yeah,
like the difference in how it feels in your back is going to be so minimal.
mm,
Percentage wise, that's nothing.
yeah,
Like the difference between 782 to 800, 18 pounds, when you're talking 800 pounds is so flipping small. Like the progress, it won't take much to
yeah.
get there. It's crazy to be talking like this though. But yeah, this I also was wondering. You had said leading at the Sheffield, you guys changed the programming so you weren't doing nearly as much heavy singles leading into the Sheffield event, and you weren't entirely sure where your top end would be, but you just gave it to Joey. I'm trusting all in Joey. You guys shook up a lot of things, and obviously it worked. But
Mm,
going into the 93s, because the 93s was uncharted water, and now you have new weights to play with. Body weight is up. the weights on your back and your hands are all going up. Did you reintroduce singles so that you could have more range finders to be like, where exactly are we at?
Yeah, so with Sheffield, Sheffield, we had singles. They just wasn't that heavy. Like I was like, I can't. Like I literally just could not. There's some days that 700 would have to be like a out. That's like a maximum effort. Like
Really?
that's
Was this due to your body was saying you were no longer an 83? Like, was it getting tougher and tougher to stay 83?
no, it was just the way that the fatigue was lining up. Like it just wasn't
Mm.
showing itself on the singles. So usually the singles are just showing like where the strength is at. But I think I was just so fatigued from all the work that I was doing. It just wasn't showing up. And you know, this is where Joey comes in, obviously, and he's like, hey man, like, you know, because Joey used to be a big ass fucking squatter when he was competing, and he's
Yeah.
told me like I mean, he has a wider range of athletes, and he's like, they're nowhere near their top end until the day of, like literally. Like there's like he's like, hey, Zeus is not gonna just be hitting 1,000 pounds in the gym. Like it's just not gonna happen. But on meet day, it's gonna be there because like that's how we gear things to go. And I was like, okay, yeah, like I trust, I believe you. I'm giving it your hands.
It's so scary, dude, to be like, this is so different. To
Yeah,
be, no, no, no. I had a big single and I just didn't have it in me.
yeah.
And Joey's like, don't worry, I'll be there and prep. Yeah, that day is Sheffield.
Yeah.
Everybody's watching. I
Yeah, but
took an
that's why.
L. I took an L against this guy.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
people were dancing in the streets.
yeah,
And it's Sheffield. And you're like, don't worry, you'll be there the day of. Like, I had a big single, and it wasn't that fucking big.
yeah, yeah.
like,
So like
like
the
I'm a little. It's how you can handle shit so well, Russ. Like this
but
is
it's
obviously
no, it's nerve. Don't get me wrong. It's kind of it. I think I just trust Joey so much at this point. Like I'm literally, I told the analogy that I use is like, hey, I am the game and you have the controller. Just tell me, just you know, whatever you put in, I'm gonna do. But yeah, like going into this meet, it was the same shit to be honest. Like I did hit that 782 like a while back, but I wasn't really in prep. But as soon as we started prepping, my best single was 749 and it was
mm,
like slow. It was just it felt like a normal 749. It didn't feel like anything crazy. Like I didn't move it fast. But I think what started changing is that my Saturday started really picking up. So the amount of weight that I was able to do for reps really started picking up. So my Tuesday singles, I mean shit, I would be happy to budge 705, maybe a little bit over 705, which is like 320 keys. But on Saturday, I'm repping out whatever my single was on Tuesday.
wow.
Yeah, so on Saturday, that's when you started seeing like the 705 for four. That's when you started seeing the 727 or the 330 kg for three. So it really started my strength really started showing itself on my secondary day, and then that gave me the confidence. And then obviously when you're warming up like in the back room before like you step on the platform, you could tell. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm ready. Like I can squat 800 right now. So yeah, once I started warming up, I was like, okay, I can feel it. I can feel the power like now.
Is that what it was? Let's talk about the day then. You
Yeah.
when you get there, you start warming up. You're like, oh shit.
No, so man, the day of, I felt bad, man. I ain't gonna lie. Like my leg,
Really?
yeah, I felt dehydrated because I was 200 pounds. Like I still hadn't really recovered from the stomach virus. Obviously, I was like 200. I actually woke up at 199, 200. But since we were so light, Joey gave me a shake to drink so I could kind of like, you know, take care of that. But my legs were shaking because I was so dehydrated. I just felt skinny. I felt little. It felt like had just done a cut, like coming into me. I'm like, bro, I'm 93. Why do I feel like this? But
Right.
yeah, but once I settled a little bit, ate some food, got the juices flowing after weigh-ins and all that kind of stuff, I was still a little unsure. And then when we started warming up in the back, I was like, okay, no, it feels like I could squat like 800.
And so obviously walking through, um, you hit the 355, but walk me through your attempts.
Yeah, so the way that we approach this meet, which is not normal with Joey, is we wanted to just like get the numbers that we wanted, and regardless of what happens with the judges, like literally, we talked about this. We went to lunch before the day before the meet, and it's like, hey, if you somehow miss on depth on your opener or your second, we're going up every time. Like we're just going up. Like we're going up. We didn't come here to like just do a meet. Like we came here for a mission.
Right.
You can't complete the mission in its totality fuck it. I mean, either you're just gonna bomb out or whatever. So that was like kind of like the energy that we had. So literally as soon as I walked off the platform from the 343 that I missed, he's like, how did it feel? It's like felt light. He's like, we're going up. I was like, he's like, what do you want? 355 or 358? I was like, just for the sake of getting the lift, if 355.5 is still going to give us the numbers that we need, let's just roll with 355 just to be safe. I knew like 355, it didn't really matter. 355 or 358, I'm going to blow it up. But just to give me the room to fight and hit depth and come up, let's just go 355 just to be safe.
So this was all or nothing. Like you knew,
Yeah, for
all right,
sure.
if I don't get this third squat, I'm fucked, huh?
Yeah.
Like, and the
That
worst
was
is
literally, yeah, that was,
the worst is everyone knows it so early, and then you have the rest of the day. And
yep.
you just
Yeah.
come out from the bench like, hey guys, I'm just gonna do some shit here. We
So
all know
that
I
was
have two more events.
that was the
That's
conversation.
horrible. That's
That was the
horrible.
conversation in the back. It's like, bro, this is literally what you came here for. It all comes down to this one fucking moment. So like, you have to get this to continue on to where you need to go. So I got Joey talking to me the whole time. Yo, just squat deeper. We were looking at the video, and I'm like, that shit was easy. Like, I just have to squat a little bit deeper. I got it. Like that's how I am. I'm like, I wasn't even tripping. I missed. I was like, okay, I missed. All right, cool. Let's look at the depth. Like, how far off am I? Looked at it. I was like, I mean, that's iffy. I could get deeper than that. All right, cool. Let's get deeper. So he's like telling me, yo, it's just 355. I'm like, yeah, man, that's easy work. Like, I got that trust. So yeah, it was, but that's why I came on that third with no smile. I was like, yeah, this we gotta get this shit. Like, we
Dude,
gotta get this shit.
that's horribly uncomfortable the rest of the day.
Yeah, I didn't want to
Yeah,
be smiling and shit and like not hit
face.
it. Look goofy, man.
Yeah. I want to let's take a look at that third squat. Hold on a second here. I'll share the screen again. All right.
Yeah, there's no smile.
So it was work, but it wasn't crazy work. It
What
was work. Yeah. How did it feel?
when I squat, so typically for me, whenever I unrack the bar on squat, I could tell what type of fight it's going to be. It didn't feel overbearing. Usually, if I'm unracking something and I just cannot like walk it out properly, I'm like, oh, you're gonna have to fucking fight. I
Mm.
felt it and I was like, oh, my body can handle this. Just hit depth. Like let it push you down and let it bottom you out. That was the thought process. I wasn't even thinking about strength. I'm like, you're strong enough to do it. You just have to execute with the judges watching. So that was the biggest thing. Just push yourself down, hit depth, and it's gonna come up. So that was just the main thing thinking about it.
Like watching it, it definitely like it was top end, but if you needed a little bit more change, you probably had it. Although, I mean, it's going to impact your deadlift if you go too heavy. But
Mhm.
it's definitely at that body weight you're at to be hitting 355 is a really good indicator for you.
Yeah.
Marching forward, if you're at Sheffield, you load up 800. That squat at that body weight, given everything that was going on, is would you should be confident, seeing how that moved. Now, how about the bench press?
The bench press. So I didn't. I mean, bench press for me, man. It's just body weight. That was just body weight. Like I just could not. We were around the number that we wanted. We wanted 210. So same thing, aggressive jump after the first. We went 197.5 to 207.5. It was just hard. It was just difficult. And I could just tell I'm like, I don't have the body weight I need to push this right now. But
Mm.
that's kind of what we were thinking. We were thinking like 210. And if we had 210, like literally the number we wanted was 210. Anything above that would have been like adding sprinkles to the Sunday. But it was pretty much where we needed to be. I just wish we had the extra 2.5 keys to put on that 210, but it wasn't there.
In because you had made huge gains in your bench press going into Sheffield,
Mhm.
from Worlds to Sheffield. Were you anticipating like the extra body weight as a 93? Like if you come in as a full 93, I gotta like you'll be benching around 500, no?
I need more time for that. I think best case scenario. I think best case scenario at this point. I see realistically under meat conditions maybe like a what is that 474-ish, maybe top end like 484. So maybe 220. But I think by the end of this year, yeah, once I fill that out, 220 would be reasonable with like a full 205 pounds available to me.
Mm. So you go, you nail your bench press, you're on point, you got the 210 you wanted. Going into the deadlifts. So was the plan, did you guys already know where your body weight was at in that 10 times body weight would be achieved as well? Did Joey might have known or didn't or no? Like how was this all looking?
We didn't know any of that. So they really wanted me to come out for a third bench, like and do 210. They're like, yo, like maybe your body was just shocked off of like that big jump, but we think we could add just like a 2.5 keys and you could get that 210. And I'm like, man, I don't think I got that shit. Like I literally did not feel. I literally told him I was like, nah, brother, I ain't got that. And once the lifter starts talking like that, I mean, just scratch it. So we scratched that, and the number that we ended up being was 918. It literally that just ended up being the number. We didn't know it was going to be 10 times body weight. That wasn't like the goal coming in. We didn't even talk about 10 times body weight. It just kind of happened like that. It just kind of shook out.
So when you loaded up the second, obviously you knew you'd be breaking the world record though.
Yeah, yeah. So if you look at how I reacted off the second, that was for me the meet was over. I was like, like I was honestly the way that I was dealing with things. I'm really happy with how I dealt with things on that day because I felt fried from the beginning, and I was just like, all I need to do is just squat this 782, and the day is done. Let's just get that done. Everything else I checked out of, like the bench, I didn't give a fuck about, and the deadlift, I did not give a fuck about. So when I got to my second, I was like, oh, we're here. If you look at my YouTube video or you look at the footage, I'm literally like smiling. So I'm like, okay, like this is it. Like we're done. I'm like, let's wrap this up. Let's wrap it up on the second. So yeah, I pulled the second, and if you see my reaction, I'm super happy and lit because I'm like, I'm not coming out for a third. This is the last time y'all gonna see me.
I didn't
I
think you
sh
were coming up because I didn't. It didn't
God,
look like you
hell
were coming out.
yeah, I didn't want to come out for a third. So I'm dapping up the judges and stuff. I'm like, yeah, like thank you guys so much. Da, da, da. And I'm like, I ran off because I'm like, all right, we're done. So
Yeah.
we get to the ending, we get to the area where you put in your number. They're like, all right, so what do you think? I'm like, what do you
Yo, I think I'm done. Is what I
yeah, I think
think.
I'm done. It's like you
I
want to
think I'll
try
take a burger and fries. What the fuck are you talking about?
literally
What
that's
are you
what I'm
taking
thinking.
my
I'm like,
food order? What do you?
yeah,
Wait, I'm thinking the spot up the street looked nice. I don't know. What do you guys fellas thinking? I'm open.
yeah.
Oh, you
Like
talking a third attempt?
exactly. So it's like I'm thinking we're kind of done. So he's like, "Yo, let's go 360." And there's a reason for that. But I knew in my heart, I'm like, brother, I'm mentally checked out. I'm physically checked out. I can't will myself anymore. Like I'm kind of cooked. I just came out to pull that just to pull it, but I knew like I didn't even try to fight it. I pulled off the ground as soon as I felt an issue. I was like, nah, drop that shit. I
You're
was like,
like,
I was like,
finish. I
I was
like how
like,
you
yeah.
worded it. You're like, all
Like
right,
no,
we're good.
I'm
Now
like,
let's
yo,
get the fuck out of here.
if this doesn't if there's like a level of difficulty that I'm looking at it, I'm like, yo, I gotta really like send it to pull it. I don't feel that great. Like I might pass out. I ain't trying to like do all that. I'm like, hey man,
Especially if your stomach is like 50-50, you're like,
yeah,
all right, we escaped this day without getting memed. Let's
yeah.
just let's stay ahead of the game here.
Exactly. I had to
Right?
work myself up to even attempt it. Like I'm like sitting in the back and I'm like trying to replay music and shit. I'm like, man, I'm emotionally left out of this meet already. So yeah.
That's the worst. Especially with everything you've gone through. Super light, the travel, everything, and then all the pressure and everything you had felt, or dropping the video, etc. And you do it in a second. And then it's like, all right, man, yeah, like it is a mission accomplished. You're not like fighting for any medals. It's over. It's
Yeah.
all over. I was crazy shocked he came out. But anyways, it is what it is. After the fact, when did you find out 10 times body weight and things started popping up? Like I hold two different world records in squat in two different weight classes at the same time and started realizing, oh my God, 8 months ago, I was at Sheffield breaking the world record for 83s. 8 months later, I'm breaking the record from 93s. Like, when did all this start sinking in what you actually accomplished?
That was y'all. That was y'all saying that. So I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, I have to like you're like, oh, I think you're the first to say that I saw. It's like, oh, Russ was just at 83. He just broke the world record, and 8 months later, he breaks the 93 kg total record. And I was looking, I was like, oh shit, Sheffield was this year, huh? I'm like, damn. I'm like, damn, that is kind of cool. And then Pete and Big Body, shout out to Big Body and Pete. Pete is the first one. No, I think it was Big Body. I can't remember, but that started coming up. It's like, yo, you hit 10 times body weight. I'm like, no, I wasn't, I didn't hit 930. It's like, well, you weighed in 91.8 and you hit 918. And I was
God
like,
bless that stomach virus playboy.
yeah.
Okay, everything worked out.
Yeah, and I was like, oh shit. And I was like, I calculated, I was like, oh shit, that is 10 times body weight. I was like, okay, dope. Like I didn't know that shit either.
Glad I swung through again after all. Caught a virus. Fucking work. Everything worked out in your favor.
Yeah, exactly. So that's when I started seeing that and realizing I was like, oh, okay, wow, this was a good performance. Because I was thinking like it was so for me, just because like what I was thinking about, but at the same time too, like the circumstances that surrounded it, I was really satisfied with how everything kind of came out.
Talk about a difference in years, like year to year makes. From this time last year, you would have been coming off of Worlds.
Yeah,
And then this time this year, where you're multiple time, two different weight divisions, like doing everything you're doing, it's a whole nother ball game, isn't it?
yeah,
How quickly does conversation change? And people are quick to be like, um, you lose last year's worlds, but then Joe B shows up and everyone's like, Russ is cooked. Well, that's the end of the Russ Orhii era. And everyone's real quick to start, like, just like your video, real quick to start being, he's cooked, he's done. Well, that era's done, whatever. And then all of a sudden, North Americans happens, and people are like, holy shit, this is awesome. I can't wait to see my Sheffield, the 93s are the hottest division. It's like, how quickly everything can turn.
exactly.
And you just, you've lived through a few now.
Yeah, I never take things. That's why, I was talking to Taylor about this. I'm like, even if you fail, like, I mean, yeah, people are gonna talk shit about you, but it's a moment in time. And it doesn't have to be forever. Like, a lot of shit could happen in a year. You could change the narrative with your performance and your work. So, when I lost that Worlds last year, it sucked. I knew what was gonna happen. I knew like people would talk shit, but like, I'm not retiring. That's not gonna be my last
Mm.
performance. So I have an opportunity to kind of like right that ship for myself. Um, yeah, that's why I don't really get too high or too low. I celebrated today my performance, but I know like in the next week or so I'm gonna get back to work, and now it's gonna have to write a new narrative.
And does this make it a little bit sweeter having gone through some trials and tribulations now?
Oh yeah, for
To
sure.
be
I think yeah, 100%. I think so. I was I was looking out into the sunset and in the Grand Caymans, they have a beautiful sunset. And I was about to start crying just because as I'm getting older, I understand these moments are going to be are we're going to start getting, pretty spaced out because I'm getting older. Like as an athlete, you're not going to be at your best as you get deeper into your 30s. And I'm like, man, I'm just thankful for the wins. I used to just kind of brush them off and like the anxiety of losing goes away, but like the happiness and success never appeared. Whereas now it's like, nah, I'm gonna live in this, I'm gonna enjoy this, and I'm gonna be grateful for this because this shit, it's not easy to do, man. Like we talked about the pressure, we talked about just being in the right moment. I mean, sometimes you might have a dumbhead mistake and fly to fucking a whole different country that you're not supposed to be in. Um, Stomach virus, new lifters showing up. Winning isn't guaranteed. So I'm always thankful when it does happen. So I'm definitely more so now living in the moment.
especially like everyone who said, like, oh, he's cooked in the whole nine. They have to now appreciate how difficult it is to do what you're doing. Like, yeah, you have to acknowledge you thought it was over for him.
Mhm.
You thought the game had passed him by
Yeah.
and we're going to move on. And he's still here. And now he's the number 193. Whole position. He's got the biggest 93 kilo total we've ever seen. And he's now in the pole position for 93s. And he's put the pressure back on everyone else. Now you have to reply back, rest of the 93s. And everyone who was counting out now has to acknowledge, like, fuck, you don't get to say Russ is cooked. he's done, whatever. And then you do what you just did and they can't fluff it off. It's like, no, you know how hard it is because you already thought it was over. You have to acknowledge I'm doing what you didn't think I was capable of doing. Where's my flowers now? That's how you can turn haters. That's how you can turn haters onto your side. And even do you think now, like for instance, Taylor for a while there, he was on the top, and eventually people want to root for you to if you stick around too long on the top, people are going to start rooting against you.
It's
Right? We
gonna
talked about this. And you were around forever as a 93 at the top. So eventually when someone's gonna else is gonna win, people are rooting. And then when you returned to Sheffield, it was different. All of a sudden, like because you won in Duran's and Ade's hometown or home country, anyways, and you won the battle of the 83s. And unlike Lithuania, when people are like, oh, Russ lost, oh my God. When you won, the community celebrated. Holy shit, look what Russ did.
yeah.
You know, key people were like, okay, hats off to the guy. He did what he did. And then you moving up a weight class, and these are big, strong, you know, they're bigger and stronger in the 83s. It's a bigger challenge. So for you to move into this, do you think now, to an extent, the vulnerability you've previously shown, and now you're small for the 93s and you're the new guy on there. So there's some vulnerability now to you as opposed to Rush shows up, he wins.
Mm.
You think that like the community views you a little different now? Do you think you're viewed as like an underdog, or what do you think?
Man, that's a good question. I think I'll have to sit around and gauge things a little bit more. I think I'm viewed as, I think right now, man, that's a really fucking good question. I might have to like sit back and really like kind of like see the field. I think right now people are just happy to see me come into a new weight class, and it's almost like it almost feels like I restarted my career. So maybe I'm getting that type of energy where people are like, "Yo, man, like." Okay, I think it's a weird combination of like getting the benefit of restarting your career, but then also being someone that has been doing this for a very, very long time. So also getting that respect as well. I
Sure.
don't see too much hate these days, actually, which is, I guess, a good thing. But I do understand it. I mean, it might come if might come. But I think it really just depends on how I put out content and do that kind of stuff and control that narrative, I guess. But yeah, I would say it's more so a lot of love right now because I guess I am looked at as an underdog and like people don't exactly know what my capabilities are in this weight class. So it's
Mm.
more about intrigue and it's more so like, hey, this is a new guy. We're gonna root for him. And I think it's gonna change pretty soon. But
It
um
might, but
yeah,
it's interesting. Like Taylor for sure, like was getting hate because he's on top. He was cocky and he was, you know, he was Taylor Atwood in his prime. And so now he's an underdog as an 83 older guy. Remember that one meme that showed Joe B was like in grade 5 when Taylor won his first nationals. And it
yeah,
was such a good stat. Like that was such a cool, like, holy shit moment, a generational battle
that's dope.
where his position now within the community is different. Like people grew up watching him, and
Yep.
he's like he's in his late 30s. He's a father, so he himself is different. Like now than previous, and he's grown as well. So people view him differently, and he's like, I don't know. Now he comes on podcasts. He's not quite the same. He's not, like Taylor when he first hit 838.5. He's different. And so it's interesting to see that. And I don't know how it's going to happen with you. I mean, you're younger than Taylor. You don't got kids or nothing, so you don't got to worry about like, you could still be wild, right, or whatever. But it'll be interesting to see how it plays out for you in this chapter. Certainly, even if you win right now, obviously, like I said, you took pole position, but we're talking 0.5 kilos. It's a tight race. It's a very tight race. So it's not quite like when you had a 20-kilo spread. You were the Yankees. You were
Yeah.
the 90s Chicago Bulls. Some people are going to love you, love Jordan and the Bulls. Some people love the Yankees. Some people are going to hate the Bulls and the Yankees.
Yep.
Some like just because it's going to be polarizing. Where right now, it's interesting. You're new to the weight class. It's within 0.5 kilos, and there's like so many 93s that are relatively closely clustered all over the world. And I'm also interested in how they're going to receive you. And
Yeah.
I also think it could pivot and change. If
Yeah.
you win and you dance on a couple people's graves, oh no, you'd be like, all right, you
Yeah, I
know,
don't I don't do that unless I have seen a consistent effort to poke at me. Like I don't do that. I really try to steer away from that. If you guys ever see me like pop out and start talking shit, that's because someone has been poking me for a good amount of time and it's not like within good fun. Like me and Gustav go back and forth in a playful manner. It's not disrespectful. It's not like he's writing me off and I'm writing him off. He's a great competitor. We literally just poke fun at each other. Kaiko, it's a respect. We're both teammates. We're friends. So it's like, hey man, let's battle it out with each other and see who comes out on top. It's going to be a great way to kind of boost each other. Emil, I don't really have a relationship with Emil like that to be talking to him like that. So that's different. But everyone else, it's like I respect everybody. I respect all lifters. But if you want to play that game with me, I can play it too. It's just I don't I don't like playing it because I don't like giving people like a platform off of my platform. But if you do keep poking at me, like I'm gonna answer my own way. But yeah, that's the only way. Like I don't really, you know, I don't go back and forth with people that much. But I've been seeing some stuff that's
it's the thing is, okay, first off, it makes it spicy and juicy and more intriguing.
mm.
There's a reason why freaking pro wrestling they write the scripts like they do. It's because it's not just the match; it's everything going into the match. There's a reason why in the UFC, guys who talk shit, who talk a little bit, or in boxing, whatever. Floyd Mayweather hit all of these because he talks, even if it not at his opponent, he'll be confident as shit and talking about himself to make people feel ways. So it ain't the worst thing in the world. Have
Yeah,
have you already been seeing things now that you just became a 93?
yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I've been seeing some stuff.
It
It's
didn't
hard
take
for me
long.
to it's hard for me to verify it because I don't go on other people's pages very often to like see what they're doing. I literally just
And you'll
don't.
see you, dog, they're gonna see. They're gonna look at the stories and make Russ, you're so awesome.
You'll never, if I don't follow you, you'll never catch me watching your stories. Like I hate when my
And
friends send me people's stories. I'm like, I don't follow them, so I'm definitely not gonna watch it. But
you're like,
yeah,
take a picture and send me the screenshot. Or let me get my burner account on because I'm not letting him know I'm watching.
yeah. What did Kendrick say? Don't mention me and I'll say it's fair. Yeah, something like that. Don't mention me, I'll say it's fair. Yeah, I just look, I get it, you wanna talk trash and all that kind of stuff. I'm just saying, like once I start jumping in, like or if I respond, I don't want to hear like, I was just playing or whatever. Like, you're doing too much. It's like you don't get to dictate what too much is, bro. Like you start it, it is what it is. I mean, obviously you don't want to get personal, but
Like sporting wise, yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, you don't
You've
want to get
always, you've never brought up someone's like personal life. It's always been sports.
yeah, I just don't like it's just interesting because yeah, I see things. I see things. I just be chilling though. I don't really like to like I said, I like giving my respect to lifters. I don't talk trash. I'm actually not a trash talker. I don't really be doing that. But, I have been seeing some pokes here and there. So
We'll have to see how it all plays out, man, because you made a hell of a splash for your first. This
yeah.
is where it's the thing is you're used to the high stakes. I was about to say this is where it's high stakes. You jump into the 93s and you have like no wiggle room. People are like, you got to be like number one. Like you have to be number one of not even just current all time. You got to break world records. You got to do what no 93 has ever done ever. And
Yeah.
then okay, good. Okay, good, Russ. That's the grace you get.
There's no
Right?
like let him there's no like, hey, he's moving to ninth. Let's see what he's doing. It's like he won't break the world record. He won't do this and that. It's like, damn,
If you
bro.
don't break
Like,
a world record, you're a failure. It's
yeah,
if
like
you're not
that's
the greatest 93 of all time, I fucking knew it. I knew it. It's like you knew what?
Yeah, I mean, but like I said, that's a testament just to the standard that I've set over my career. So I get it, and I'm not shying away from that. Just work, work to. I have higher standards for myself. So it's just like, hey, work to meet your own standard.
I'm gonna play the one video where I was talking to Heiko, Emil, and Gustav.
Yeah.
And I asked them about you moving up. Now, this video went off and you had an amazing response in the comments. It was awesome. All right, let me pull this bad boy up. That thick Bulgarian accent, we will be prepared. Was
That was, I
was
ain't
this
gonna
guy?
lie. On their part, that was hard. I ain't gonna lie. I respect.
It was European hard, huh?
Yeah, it
Like
was.
it was so European. Like Kaiko being so nice, like I think he's gonna be happier, and he's talking like he's such a nice guy and whatever. And then when I got to the Europeans, they're like, "We welcome him. We will be prepared." And like I'm queuing up the questions to get something going, and yours just simple in the comments. I'll see your boy soon.
Yeah, but
That's that was
that makes me respect them more. Like they don't give a fuck about that. Like all that little 83 shit you've been doing, bro. Like you here with the big dogs now. So, you know, show us what you got and we'll come prepared. So I respect that. I get it. If someone was asking me about a new motherfucker coming up into the 83s, I'd be like, I don't give like I didn't give Joe his props. Like people were telling me about Joe before he did what he did. I was like, I don't give a fuck. Like like I was like, you know how many people I've gone against that said they gonna beat me and shit. So I get it. Like I get that competitive aspect to it. So I
mm.
didn't take that personal. I thought it was cool. I thought it was a good moment for powerlifting too.
Yeah, they have to. They're going to face you. It's
Yeah.
going to happen.
What do y'all
Stand
want them to
10
do?
toes down.
Yeah, you want them to just like be like, oh well, we know he's gonna be the best. Like I would have been like, I would have looked at them and be like, oh y'all soft. Like what is that?
Like imagine Gustav goes, I'd like to announce I'm moving to 105.
Oh, that's crazy.
Like, no, these fellas are going to stand 10 toes down and we're going to have some battles. Are you, if you go to Sheffield, because right now it's just a mill,
Mhm.
let's say you could take 193 in the world and not Sheffield rules apply. You could take whoever you want. You could take Carlos Peterson Griffith if you like. Like you could take anybody you want in the world. So it's you and a mill so far. You're allowed one more 93 to bring with you to the battle. What would that 93 be?
Kaiko, for sure. Yeah, he's just been the standard for 93s for a minute. Or at least the last like 2 to 3 years. So I know they've traded like world titles the last couple of years, but I mean I think Kaiko has two, right? Two world titles.
He's got two. And also during the COVID year, like before that, he was the number one, but missed the worlds due to COVID. And then like he was ranked number one longer than winning titles, like yourself as 83. Like he
Yeah.
was the guy. Some years he wasn't taking titles as well.
Yeah. So I'd say Kaiko for sure. Teammate, I know he don't miss. I mean, more often
Yeah.
than not, he's going 9 for 9, and that in itself is very challenging as a lifter to go against someone that does not miss. You can't just say like, oh, let's hope he misses something he's not gonna miss. And he's coached by Joey. So that's
Oh,
like, that's a tough matchup, but it's a matchup that I would love to have because it's just gonna make me be way more on point. Like when I'm training, I'm like, bro, you can't miss a squat. Like you cannot miss a squat, you can't miss a bench, you can't miss a dead because that's gonna open the door for him to come in. So he's such a sharp lifter that would be a very tough matchup. Um, yeah, that would just be a very tough matchup.
are you thinking about doing, because Sheffield's going to be in January, late January? Are you thinking about doing Sheffield as well as US Nats? No.
Nah, next time I compete, it's not going to be competing; it's going to be showing out. So, um, whatever I do at Sheffield, I'm pretty confident it won't be replicated at Nationals. That's why I'm like,
And
yeah, if you want to invite me to Sheffield so the whole world can see it, cool. But if I make it, if I have to go do Nationals, yeah. Whatever you see next, you like 918 is gonna be jokes. I know that for sure. So that's all I gotta say.
really, like, so okay, so a couple questions there. I mean, you previously were saying you didn't like how quickly the Sheffield to Nats turnaround was, like in
Mhm.
terms of like fully peaking, right? If you were to show up front of just to compete is one thing, but put up the performance you wanted to put up, you're like, I'm gonna need a little bit more lane weight to get it running. And different lifters are different with that. So your anticipation, like obviously if you don't do Sheffield, I mean, that big show up, show out is going to be US Nats then. That's a little ways away though.
Mhm.
Would you have something in the interim or no?
No, I'll just do
No.
Sheffield. Yeah, just Sheffield. Hey, it's like if I get invited to do Sheffield, just know whatever I put up, that's not being replicated. Like it's
What where does this confidence come from? Is it
oh, I know my capabilities. I totaled 918 in those circumstances. I wasn't even a fully a 93. Nah, come on. Like nah. And I get the rest of the year to just train and focus on being a 93. Like nah. Whatever I do at Sheffield will not be replicated. I know that for a fact.
I gotta fucking see, I
And
gotta
that's
see
not, yeah,
those.
that's not me talking shit on no lifter. That's just me being extremely confident in my abilities. Like, trust me, if I whatever me I end up doing, it will not be replicated. I know that.
And you gotta think Sheffield, you gotta think SBD, they know. You know, the biggest bang for the buck in terms of wild card is to bring you in there. The 93s, we haven't seen you against Emil and Gustav. And I don't know if Gustav's gonna get it. Um, I it because he's gonna be at World Games.
Mhm.
What do you anticipate from Gustav from World Games?
I honestly don't know, man. It's not, it's, I wish I could give like a cool answer, but I honestly don't know. Especially because this is the way I look at it. It's going to be a difficult situation for him. Very difficult.
Mhm.
I mean, yeah, you have to travel to China. That's not an easy place to get into. I know he hovers over the two. I know he hovers over 93, so he's going to be cutting. He just competed at Worlds pretty recently. Those are a lot of different factors playing against him. So I don't know if he will be able to just like automatically put up his best performance ever to beat me. However, he's going to be extremely motivated with me doing what I just did, and I know what that
Mm.
does to others. I know the level of focus that brings. So he might show up and just have the best meet of his life right then and
I
there.
got I got a feeling as well.
Yeah.
Well, first off, he won't have other guys like you, Emil, there, so that
Mhm.
it helps in terms of he just has to do whatever numbers in front of him. A little bit of leeway there.
Mhm.
But also, I think the fact that you're here before you even came up, we were already like, look at what's going on with that podcast and that video. Everybody's talking about it, sharing it, being like, because it's the next thing. These fellas, I think, are going to be excited that you're here. I
Yeah.
think Gustav's going to be excited all the attention you're getting. I do
Yeah.
think motivation is going to be extremely high for these guys.
Exactly. And
Um,
all he has to do, I mean, he could just, there is no game plan. The game plan is fucking 918 or 919 or whatever we got to do. So I know what that looks like with a high performing athlete. Gustav is a high performing athlete. So he could very well just walk in there and just off of motivation and the moment and knowing that like you get to, if you top this, like I would say I'm one of the bigger stars in powerlifting. Like you get to claim that throne and claim that I could see him doing that. I didn't put it so far out reach where it's like it's completely out of his capabilities. So he's capable to do it. It's just the circumstances in which he has to do it is pretty difficult. So I could
right.
see both scenarios. It's not like I'm just gonna talk shit and be like, nah, he ain't got it. Like I think he has opportunity to do it. It's just a very difficult situation to get it done in.
Let's talk about these difficult situations with World Games because a lot of people have pulled out because it has been. I'm going to pull up the list of those that pulled out right now.
Mm.
One sec here. So, as it stands currently, Jessica Espinal, Waskar Carpio, Megan Scanlon, Timothy Monagati, Austin Perkins, Russell Orhii, Leah Bavwa, Agatha Shitko, Cranen Warford, Emil Krastev, Brandon Petrie, Ashton Rauska, Amanda Lawrence, Alexis Jones, Bob Matthews, Tony Cliff, Jesus Oliveras.
It's a lot.
Dog, that is like I just read to you the roster of 2024 Worlds. Like this is like I didn't dog. There's a that's a lot
It's a lot.
and possibly more to come. Let's stay tuned, huh?
Yeah.
Like this is crazy.
Mhm.
There is that is a lot of people pulled out.
It's a lot. It's a lot. And I know the conversation around that. I know Heather and Pete were saying, like, the athletes have no obligation to say why they're not competing. I kind of disagree with that. I'm not saying they have an obligation, but it definitely does help for the thousands of fans that do watch us and they want to hear why their favorite athlete isn't competing. And just hearing that say, like, yo, there's people that are wondering why you're not lifting. It's the sport has gotten that big to where there's people that are going to be going there, people that are going to be watching. That is like, hey, I thought so and so was going to compete. No, they're not competing. Well, why not? I think it does help for the people that are watching at home to understand maybe why you're not doing things. And that also helps you too. Like if the people that support you know exactly why you're not doing something, that further lends into their support of you. So once again, I know we discussed at the top of the podcast, but for me personally, it was just it just seemed like the 93s was a better opportunity for me. And there was no way I was going to be able to compete as a 93 at World Games. So it's like, let's just jumpstart the career right now and jump into the 93. So that's why I'm not competing. But
And
there's a lot of reasons why people aren't competing, and I'll give people reasons, not like down the line, but reasons that's why you might not see your favorite lifter compete. It's expensive, bro. We're so in the U.S. they don't pay for none of that shit, so that's coming out of
mm,
pocket. I mean, people living in the U.S. The economy ain't that sexy right now, so you're not trying to come out of pocket like 4K to go travel like a day, like 24 hours over to China to compete. It's tough. Also, there's a lot of variables we don't know over there. You don't know about nutrition, any of that kind of stuff. We have to stay in the athlete's village. You don't know about maybe you have like a comfort circle that you travel with. So maybe like mom and dad can't stay with you in the athlete village. How is that going to look like in regards to like us meeting up or having that support with you? Some people can't bring their favorite coaches. That's been an issue for some people. There's just a lot of different things, man. It's not easy, bro. Like it's tough. Like that's a tough situation. I would have definitely gone had I wanted to stay in the 83s. That wouldn't have like the political situation bothered some people as well. That didn't really bother me as much. In the US, I think right now it's a high risk for us to travel to China. It's like a thing that's out. Like, they'll
mm.
notify you, hey, be very wary when you're traveling over here because we don't have the greatest relationship with China right now. So I know that definitely I know that definitely was scaring some people for sure. We were all in a big Zoom and I could
Can
just
you
kind of
imagine? Can you imagine Chinese government be like, we have Russel Orhii?
yeah. I don't think it's that big of an issue. I think it's just propaganda.
Trump is like, what the fuck am I getting pulled into a powerlifting thing now?
He might
Tell
just
me
be
his stats. How was he? But Trump is like, what does he squat? I don't know. What are we looking at here?
I was
What's
gonna make a
Sheffield?
joke.
Explain
I'm
to
like,
me. SBD's like, we need him for Sheffield. Start negotiating. I don't know who you got to get. We need Russell back. I don't know what arms dealer you got to let free, but Sheffield needs to go on. And
oh man.
this is going to mess up everything. But
Yeah, that's a real concern of people. I don't think it's that serious. Like I don't think China's gonna take powerlifters. Like it's not like we NBA players or some shit. So um yeah, there's a lot of different reasons, man. There's a lot of different reasons. I know some people just life. You're not trying to go. I mean, some people are currently retired from powerlifting or taking a long break. So, you know.
it's so to double back to what you said. Um, I see nothing wrong with fans are going to have opinions,
Mhm.
and you cannot tell fans, hey, if I am not showing up in an event, you should not be asking why, or you need to be considerate of. The thing that people do have to realize is no, this is when you get like I know because you're a sports fan, and some people aren't like people come into powerlifting who aren't sports fans in
Yeah.
general. They're not general sports fans. I could tell you as a sports fan my whole life. And like I was raised off of like I would go to bed and my grandpa would tell me stories about boxers like Jack Dempsey from the 20s and shit like this. I could tell you right now because I follow like the fight game, but I don't know this is with other sports. You pull out, people are gonna be like, why did he pull out? Well,
Exactly.
that
Yeah.
UFC, that UFC you're waiting for, that big event you're waiting for in the summertime. John Jones pulled out. Why did he pull out? What's going on? And then when John Jones has a press conference, he's going to get asked, why did you pull out of that event, by the way?
Yep.
And there's nothing offside about that. There's nothing going too far about that. And you could say, as the athlete, you know what, something in my personal life can't get into, but I got to deal with some. You could do that. That's totally fine. And then people just let it go. Okay, fine. Say less. But people are going to ask, and that's a good thing.
Yeah. It means
People
they
actually
care.
give a shit.
Yeah.
If you listen, the worst thing in the world when you're in high school, they had a party and no one even knew if you were there or not.
Yeah.
You didn't make it and nobody noticed.
Yeah.
Huh?
I mean, the list that you read out, it's like you read all those names. A normal sports fan is gonna be like, why the fuck aren't the best lifters going
Yes.
to the World Games where it's literally the first time and the closest we've been to the Olympics? Why aren't all these athletes going? I need to
It's
find
a
out.
valid question. It's a
Yeah,
valid question. They don't know. Let them know. Or
yeah,
like if it's something personal, you just say it's something personal. But
yeah.
and
Because I
fair
put
enough.
out, yeah, I put out a thread weeks ago, and I was like, hey guys, just letting y'all know, like, some athletes are probably pulling out because this shit is expensive. Like people are coming out of pocket for this. Like our sponsorships are not paying for this. Like this is out of our personal pocket to get this done. The travel is insane. Some people just don't want to do that travel. It's crazy travel. Um, yeah, and like all the other reasons I listed earlier, yeah, it's not just like, oh, we get to compete at the World Games and that's it. It's like, nah, bro, there's a lot of different things that bleeds into, and you have to make a decision too. It's like, hey, I just competed at this meet. Maybe competing at the World Games isn't going to be as beneficial as I thought it was going to be. I'm just going to take the rest of the year off to train to get ready for a meet that I'm prioritizing at the beginning of the year. That's all it is.
And not only this, sports fans are allowed to have an opinion.
Yeah,
Their
and then if someone is not
fans are
exactly,
they're allowed to say, I hear you, Russ. I disagree. I think you should have. All right.
exactly, yeah, you
People,
have to live
people,
with that.
people, people actually have opinion on my career moves as
Yeah,
in a sport. That's
yeah,
crazy.
yeah.
That,
The
that's
same,
that's
the
that's
same,
that's a gift.
the
People
same way,
care.
the same way that people are questioning that might question me moving up to the 93s. It's like, I mean, it's my career decision. That's why I decided. These are the reasons why I'm doing it. Some person can be listening to it and be like, man, fuck that, man. You're running from Joe, bro. Man, fuck that, man. I'm not a fan of you no more because you run from smoke. It's like, bro, I'm not running from. I just okay. I mean, that's your opinion. I can't. That's how you feel. I can't change that. I just told you why I did it. But if that's how you feel, that's how you feel.
And you want sports fans to have opinions and debate or be like,
Yeah,
he should have done this or he should have went to that or this is what sports fans do. Who cares?
yeah,
Who cares?
yeah. It
Let them
comes
talk.
comes with
You
the platform.
want sports fans. Yeah,
Yeah,
you want the sport to be big enough that you actually have sports fans debating who's at what event is means more. I think
yeah.
World Games is
So I was watching. So someone literally mentioned to me today about like top 10 powerlifters of all time, and he's like, I've created this list based off of career achievements, moments, and all that. I'm like, look at that, man! Like we're getting to a point where we have like accolades mixed with moments, and like it's like like it had like a whole different range as to why they voted for that. But there's some people that don't fuck with LeBron because his decision to leave Cleveland to go to Miami. That's it.
really
Like, oh, he's not my GOAT because like my GOAT would never do that. He would never run from Cleveland and go join another person in Miami. He would never do that. Like, we're getting to that point in powerlifting where people are looking at your decisions in the sport and equating that into your greatness, which I think is a good thing because that's what all the major sports do. But we're just getting to that point now.
it's nothing more than a sports debate. Trust me when I tell you, you don't like it, it's getting hot in that kitchen. The day you retire, 3 years later, there'll be an entirely new cast at the top and no one will even remember.
Yep.
And you'll be like, God damn, they forgot about me that quick. Like,
Yep.
don't worry about it. This is all nothing. This is all nothing. It's not real. They're gonna all forget about it by next year, and then you retire, and 3 years later, there's new battles, new whatever. Like, don't worry, don't get too stuck into it. And you're 100% right. This is actually it feels like for guys like me and you who were around before we had all this. This feels like a real sport now, where people are like looking at rosters and noticing things and
Mhm.
whatever. It's all good. I see no worries about it now in terms of what this means for World Games, that I'm not sure. The fact that like the list I read is wild,
Yeah, it's
like
crazy.
literally wild. It's to the point where it's easier for me to tell you who's still going. It's probably like who the fuck is still going? Like
Yeah.
I probably got that amount of people on one hand.
Mhm.
It's a harder list to remember and go through the people who have pulled out.
Yeah.
That is a little bit concerning about I don't think it's going to impact the sport, but in terms of what World Games means, I mean, when me and Eric Helms, we had a podcast not too long ago, and Eric Helms was saying he thinks World Games is above the World Championships and Sheffield. And I'm like, that's wild. That's wild to me. Like,
Not
I
not
would
in our
rather be,
not in our sport, but prestige wise, I mean, I get yeah, I mean, yeah, the stage maybe, but not in our sport. It's weird.
yeah, like, I think to win a world title would mean more than to win World Games.
Hell yeah, not even close. In our sport,
And
for yeah,
yeah, it's different. And more people are going to watch the World Championships, even the setup. It's kilo versus kilos in the same weight class. World Games is two weight classes squished together,
Mhm.
and two people go head to head in the same weight class. It's on points, IPF points. So if what lifter A weighs a little less, same weight class. Let's say he weighed 5 kilos less, like you got a stomach flu, like you'd eat 5 kilos less. You end up with 915. The other lifter, little heavier than you, ends up with 917 and a half.
Mhm.
Same weight class. You win
That's crazy.
IPF points. This is where it's not how we view powerlifting. You
Yeah,
understand? Like people watching powerlifting will be like, what the fuck is this?
yeah,
What do you mean? They're head to head. They're both 93s, head to head. My man literally got out totaled, but won on IPF points.
yeah.
Like this is no, no. The answer is no. No, I'm
Mm,
not gonna. I'm not gonna appreciate that. Like it's. I'm sorry if that's gonna happen. So no, that's why the World Championships is like direct head-to-head battles. You know what's gonna win? The biggest total, the strongest lifter. I don't give a shit. Whatever IPF points, but that's all after the fact. It's
mm,
just literally who's stronger on the day. You
yeah.
can't beat that. And that's where also Sheffield is the perfect complement to the World Championships because we take all of the world champions, shuffle it a little. So it's not a direct round two. You need something different. And they shuffled it a little. So you have battles. They specifically bring in, I don't got to tell you, they specifically bring in head to head battles like the 83s last year. That was juicy. Let's run it back. They're not dumb. 93s, we kind of see what direction they might be going. This is going to be good. Let's have some head to heads as well as different caveats like who can break the record by biggest margin. They got different things going on.
Mm,
Perfect complement to the world championships. World games, where does that rest in there?
yeah.
What does it complement? Does it complement worlds? Does it complement Sheffield? Does it fit in? Or it actually makes people have to choose between worlds and world? It doesn't, we haven't got that. That's the issue.
Yeah, it might just become an after like for this year. I think it'd just be an afterthought. It would be like we'll look at it. It's like that was dope, but then I don't think those. Unfortunately, just due to the sheer amount of people that pulled out too, like in combination with that, it's just gonna be something like okay, like we're probably gonna be watching more so for like Sheffield implications versus like the actual World Games aspect of like oh we're watching like our sport be at the highest possible pedestal that has been put on right below the Olympics. I don't think it's gonna be viewed like that.
And I'm not sure. I mean, 4 years from now, who knows? Maybe it's a different situation, but I think if they glean anything from this, maybe they try to address some of these issues, or like, or maybe not because we're just one sport of, I don't know, God knows, like 30. So they're like, yeah, I mean, we might take an L in terms of one out of 30's community, but we have 30 other sports to work with. We can't overly go into this.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know. It's like we can't do too much. There's too many other sports. So, okay, fine. It didn't work out like we wanted, or maybe they don't even fully know if it's working out like they wanted. Maybe they
Yeah,
don't even realize.
they didn't even pay
Like,
attention. They're like, oh, we don't know why
I
these
don't
look
know.
weird.
Yeah, they might, but if I read that list, are they going to be like, yeah, who the fuck are those people?
Yeah.
Like, do they know? I don't know.
Yeah.
Like we
I mean,
do.
the
We're
World Games
like,
reached out to me like last year to like run their page for a little bit. Like one of
really?
those.
That's cool.
Yeah, that was cool. Yeah, that was like last year though.
I mean, I don't know. There's something to be fixed there if they really want to. I, I talked about this with Penna, but I think if we took our top 20 influencers in powerlifting, like you take you, Cranen, some of these people that have dropped, Jesus, we take all of your social media reach, and then you give me whatever other sport they have at World Games, and you give me their top 20. I think our reach and star power, like I'd be shocked if some other sport had better.
Yeah, it would have to be the only sports that could have more like basketball, soccer.
Those, yeah, those are Olympics, not World Games.
Okay, they're
I
not in the
think
World Games or
no, they're in the Olympics. I think baseball was in the Olympics and it might be back in the World Games or maybe softball or something, but I don't know, Doug. Listen, if it's not number one, our stars reach isn't number one. It's got to be in the top five.
yeah, it has to
Like,
be. I think
like
so. I was looking at
has
some
to
of the
be.
sports in there. I was like, what the hell is this shit? I was like,
What are we?
I've never heard of it. But they probably look at powerlifting. I was like, I've never heard of this shit either. So
I don't know. I don't know. I'm curious.
there's definitely some some very like weird sports. I was looking at it, I was just like, what? Okay.
Even in the Olympics, God bless, like breakdancing, that Australian breakdancing lady. Like,
Oh shit. Yeah.
but anyways, I'm intrigued. I don't know what the heck's gonna happen there, but now I don't have FOMO myself because I'm not commentating it. They got their own commentators too.
Okay. Yeah.
But with
I don't have FOMO for it either. I really did want to go to China, but after I made the career decision that I made, I'm so like gung ho about this that like all that other stuff. I mean, it's whatever.
for you, there's absolutely no question you made the right choice. Like this opens so many doors for you.
Yeah.
And if you end up with that Sheffield wild card, you would be insane to have done World Games. Like World Games is a cool experience, but so is Sheffield. And the potential to battle it out at Sheffield and do like as confident as you are as the 93, to do a performance like that at Sheffield, like you remember how much love you got the last Sheffield.
Mm.
Imagine you return the following year a weight class up with another How You Like Me Now. You know, if you win the battle of the 83s in 2025 and you win the battle of the 93s in 2026, both at Sheffield with the type of viewership and everything that comes with Sheffield, dog, I mean, it's not even, it's an easy decision, isn't it?
Y'all
Right?
hear him? SVD, you hear him?
Yeah. I
let's
mean, yeah,
let's get
it's a,
Goose off the, we gotta see what
it's a,
Goose.
yeah. Well, I mean, we could bring him too, though. To be honest with you, I mean, who if they they can easily do Emil, you, and Gustav, and that would be absolutely fantastic.
That
You,
would be
Emil,
cool
and
too. That would be cool too.
dude, and they've done 393s before. Like
Yeah.
they've done, I think they had like four one year. I got to try to remember here, but either way, they'll go three deep. You know, they did
Yeah,
three for
they
the
try to go
83s.
40 for the 83s.
Yeah,
Tim, me, Jurens, and Ade.
yeah. It
Or did Ade come in because Tim dropped out?
I can't remember, but I know the 93s we had Carlos Peterson Griffith, Gavin, Keiko. Like we had a lot of Gustav was in there. So I'm gonna have to I might be mixing up a couple of years, but there's been years where they'll have three and maybe even go four. So what honestly, if Gustav does a great job of World Games, I think more likely in the showdown people would love to see is Emil Gustav you. And then if you could squeeze in Keiko, God
Oh,
bless. Are you kidding me? Are you
what's the
kidding me?
cinema?
It would be absolutely riveting cinema, and we got to watch it, especially with the live in studio podcast I did with the three of them in there.
Mm.
Perfect. SPD, obviously, I don't got to tell you, you got permission to take whatever sound bites you need, and you go to town with it. We'll see. Only time will tell, man. But I'm glad you're a 93. The future is freaking bright all over again. And this was a very good decision for you. And yeah, there's no freaking looking back, man. I think everyone's like, because we're so used to seeing you as an 83 until we saw you as a 93. And everyone's like, okay, never mind. All
Yeah,
right.
it
All right. It
definitely
was a good idea.
it feels like a way more natural weight class for me, especially at this point in my career. Like my body was craving the upgrade, like craving the weight. So it feels great. I mean, I definitely feel depleted this time, but I know like next time, whenever I'm like properly fueled, I'll feel so much better competing on meet day. Like it feels more natural. 83s, it was just too many jumping through hoops to get on the platform the way I needed to get onto it. So
Was it weird watching the Battle of the 83s when you were at Nationals?
it was fun. I felt like an unk though. I felt like I was like retired and watching like the young guns go at it. So I'm like I'm not talking shit, but I'm like, poking at Taylor, I'm poking at Joe. Um, and poking at Delaney, just kind of like seeing where their heads are at, just kind of like, being that little agitator in between. But yeah, it felt weird. It just made me feel old.
Really? For a second, it's just because you're on the sidelines instead of
Yeah,
watch.
it made it feel like I'm like the retired, athlete that's coming to watch his old team play or some shit. I'm like, what is this? I'm like
Always
commentating
want
a little bit and shit. It just felt like, yeah.
It was, yeah, it was a weird space for a second. Everything feels normal again now that you're in the 93s and you just did what you did. And all of a sudden it's like, okay, whatever, we moved on. Matter of fact, it feels better because
Mm.
like staying in the same spot over and over, it's like being in a treadmill. It was cool seeing you and Joey take that picture backstage when you guys posed together. You're like both squatted down, like chilling. That was a nice little passing of the torch pick, like one era, potentially another era. Like obviously it's early days for Joe, but he's young. We'll see what happens. And also when a post went up, I forget what it was, maybe it was a recap or something, and you said bring it home. And
Yeah,
it was like
I think it was like maybe one of his last sessions going into IPF Worlds, and I was like, bring it home. So do your thing.
it's kind of cool because it's like the American 83s have a reputation,
Yeah,
obviously.
legacy. Yeah, John, me, and then now we'll see. But right now it's Joe, so we'll see how long that lasts.
Even when Delaney stepped in, Delaney did his damn thing.
Mhm. Yep.
Like the
Oh
83,
shit, man, I just hold Delaney. It was me. I mean, it was John.
treat him like a
Me-
hoe. Don't
Yeah,
you dare treat, don't you dare
John,
treat him like a
me,
hoe.
Delaney, Joe. Now there we go.
But like the American 83s, man, it's a freak, and listen to the names you're saying, like John Hack.
Yep.
John, you heard it? He's pretty good. You
Yeah.
know, Russell Orhii, Delaney back to back and went to Sheffield, broke the world championship or world record, and then freaking now we got Joe B. Like it's quite the legacy of 83s for the Americans. So it's very big shoes to fill. Is it good? Like, do you feel better? Okay, America's got one. You know, we're gonna keep it moving, and the legacy continues. And
I never really thought about it like that. If anything, I wanted to like, nah, I don't think about it like that. I think it's just more so like the individual. I just wanted to make sure the individual that takes over is someone that they don't need my respect, but someone that I respect. Um, yeah, someone that I respect, and I'm like, this guy has like the inner makings of being great. So I'm really happy to see the people that have taken it over, like with Delaney and Joe now. But I'm excited to see what Joe does, just because I feel like he can be great if he just continues on this path and keeps locking in. But you got Taylor. Taylor's still, still hey,
Taylor, Ade, freaking Jones is still kicking. I mean,
still
it's a
it's
dude.
gonna
The
be tough.
83s are always going to be killers.
Gonna be tough. Yeah.
One thing, the 93s came close with Keiko, but we haven't had a dominant 93 that can just all three of those guys on that podcast when I had them on, all three of them had been 93 kilo world champions.
Exactly. Yeah.
Keiko, Emil, and Gustav.
Yeah, there hasn't been, yeah. And I know the 93s has been like for years, people have been talking about, oh, there's no outliers in that class. And, you
Mm.
um, I feel like it hasn't been as exciting from the outside perspective of people watching. So, my main goal is to make that. I mean, now that I'm here, everyone's like, oh, it's the most competitive class, there is. And I'm like, y'all were saying that fucking last year. Like, damn.
It's like they're close. It's just I think to your point, nobody took that ball and ran it down the field like in terms of the kilos for the total. Like
Yeah.
for instance, it was just last year, Gavin did 900 kilos. He's the first,
Mhm.
and next year, like Joe B, a weight class below, did 900 kilos.
Yeah.
Whereas to your point, you're like, I feel like I could do something pretty good here. Like I feel like I could put on a hell of a. I got an opportunity here as a 93 to do something.
Yeah.
We're primed and ready for it.
Mm.
It's clustered. There's a lot of 93s or they're volleying around the world title back and forth, and we had some great battles in the 93s, but we haven't had that. The total hasn't been bumped up like it could be.
Yeah.
I think people are thinking,
Yeah. Okay.
and I think we're waiting. We'll see, because the way you're talking for possible Sheffield, maybe we're gonna see a little something something.
Yeah. Sheffield or American National, whatever meet I do next. And it's not gonna be no 918, I can tell you that.
Sounds good, man. Well, listen, thank you for coming on the podcast. Friggin' love chopping it up as per usual. And I'm glad you freaking showed up and showed out and did your damn thing.
Yeah,
And we,
dude.
you're right. You would have gone away if you didn't, but I'm glad we don't have to wait.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm happy. You know, it's so funny before we get off. Like when I was thinking about when I was lifting in the back room, I'm like, when I was about to not bomb out, but like when I was getting called for depth, I'm like, oh fuck, here we go, man. I literally just put out a video saying that I have a world record squat and I hit depth and shit, and this is about to get fucking clipped.
You're like, this is one of those fucking questions I put in the video too.
Yeah.
Like I literally, like
Literally, and I was sitting there in the
we're
back. I was like, "You better get this shit, or else it's gonna be
yeah,
fucking
yeah, yeah.
social media, bro."
You got that video like I'm about to delete that fucking thing real quick. If I
Oh
don't get
man,
this third squat,
yeah.
that's a
I'm,
wrap.
I'm just I'm glad everything worked out the way that it did. So thankful for that, man.
My man, hopefully I see you in Sheffield. I think it'd be absolutely bonkers. I think this is honestly, this is what the community wants. And we're gonna find out in short order, I'm sure. But whatever platform you're on, I can't wait to see what you do as a full-blown 93. And God bless, man. Keep training. Good luck with everything. And for everybody listening, as per usual, please do subscribe, give us high ratings, and until next time, six pack Lapadat, six up, and we are out.